Hi there and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Christina and today I am talking about kitchen renovations, and specifically I want to talk about things that you need to avoid. I just know a little bit about this because I've done a kitchen renovation and some of these mistakes I've made, and some of them I got right, and I want to give you just some knowledge if you're thinking about doing a renovation, but don't get hung up on if you disagree. I would love it if you disagree. If you disagree, just leave it down below and we can have a little discussion, not a debate, a discussion. Mistake number one that I see people making when they're either building a home or a home renovation is they don't take the cabinets all the way to the ceiling. And I know why they do this. It's because it's expensive. Tall cabinets or custom cabinets, or in our case, you can see we did one cabinet and then another smaller one, and then we did crown molding on the top to make it go all the way to the ceiling. I have 10-foot ceilings in this part of my house, and so that was something that was important to me and my husband, was to have it go all the way to the ceiling. But it's expensive, and that's why people don't often do that. But I would urge you to splurge on that part of the kitchen, personally. There's also another kind of budget-friendly way to go around this, is to, in certain sections, don't have any cabinetry. Have it just open with the backsplash or add in open shelving. There's some beautiful examples of this on Pinterest. It just looks very custom, one of a kind when you do it that way. And in the places that you do have cabinets, because you saved a little bit on not putting them in this section, you just do more that go taller or that double on top of each other in other sections. And that's a good budget way to not increase the cost. And I think that actually gives you a more custom, special looking kitchen. I know Studio McGee does this a lot, where she'll have like the hood and then she won't have cabinets right next to the hood. So see how I have cabinets on either side? She'll have it be empty with shelving, and sometimes it's empty all the way across with open shelves, and those are pretty inexpensive to do and quite stunning. And then on a different wall, she will have cabinets that go all the way up, because you do need to have storage to put things away, but it gives such a custom high-end look when they go all the way to the ceiling. Some exceptions would be if you have vaulted ceilings, or like a loft, like really high ceilings. Obviously you're not going to be able to do that. Mistake number two is not taking the backsplash all the way up or all the way to the side of the wall. Sometimes I see people stop the backsplash at like right at the edge, and I just want it to keep going up. Or people will do like a backsplash here and then not take it all the way to the hood, and I'm just itching to like push it back up, push it up to the top. And really, whereas the cabinets, that's an expensive thing to go all the way to the ceiling. Tile, unless you're choosing very high-end tile, most tiles are not that expensive, but it gives such an impact when it goes all the way up. You're already having the labor of someone installing it here. It's not going to cost you that much more just to keep going. And I love when it is dramatic on like a whole wall, really stunning. Take the tile, be dramatic with the tile, go all the way up. Next mistake to avoid in a kitchen renovation is doing a double basin, small dinky sink. No one can wash dishes in those. I don't know who's washing dishes, unless you're doing like you have the soaking in the soap and then the rinsing in the other, and you don't have a dishwasher, then fine. But if you have a dishwasher, there's no need to have, how much are you soaking? Don't soak. Just use some elbow grease and get rid of the messiness, and get a big old sink. And you can get really modern, you can get stainless steel, you can get black, white, you can get the farmhouse ones that have the apron. Those are so pretty. So just get a big statement sink, because then you can fit a lot more dishes in. It's much more functional and much more pretty. You can hide more dishes in there than the two double sinks. So unless you are washing your dishes by hand, even still, I would urge you don't need the double thing. So one big old sink. This is one where we didn't do it, and we still might fix this down the line, is if you're renovating your kitchen, make sure to build in the fridge. That gives such a high-end look. And we have panels on one side and each side, but the issue was from our old house to this house, we brought our fridge, and the fridge from our other house, we had deeper cabinets. And so this fridge sticks out much further than the cabinets we have now. So here the fridge sticks out, which drives me crazy. So, and this fridge just won't die. It actually has been making crazy noises. So when that fridge dies, we're gonna get a fridge that sets back in more and that will give it a little more of the custom look where it's built in. But some people do this really well where they'll build in a fridge, and I love that look. It just makes your whole kitchen look professional and custom, not fully custom built in. You can do it semi-custom. So that's definitely one where we should have done. The next mistake to avoid is because you didn't know what to choose or because you were trying to save on money, you just went and got the ugliest granite at the granite yard. Sometimes I look at these houses and I'm like, why did they choose that granite? You're better off getting one of the manufactured stones that are really durable, that look kind of like marble. I would much prefer that look than just some strange puke colored marble that was discounted at the stone yard. Just don't do it. And sometimes it's because you're like, I didn't know what color to go or what to do, and this one was cheap. I would say either go the manufactured stone if you're going for cost effective, or save up and do what you really love, or decide what you love. Don't just throw in whatever available, because the stone makes a huge statement in your kitchen, and choose that wisely. My next mistake to avoid is opt to get the pot filler. And if you look behind me, we didn't get a pot filler. And I'm not saying every kitchen actually needs a pot filler. The mistake to avoid isn't per se the pot filler, but that was something that when we did this kitchen renovation, my husband wanted it more than anything. And I just was like, how hard is it to walk around, fill up the pot with water? We're not making pasta every single night. We don't need a pot filler. And it was gonna be, I think, about $2,000 more to run water to this wall to put it in. And I convinced him that it was unnecessary, and all the time he's like, we should have done the pot filler. It was only $2,000. We should have done it. So my advice to you is just choose what you love and do it, and let your husband have that crazy idea, or let your wife, if she wants these pulls that are a little more expensive. In the long run, in the grand scheme of the project, it's not gonna be that much more. I mean, at some point you have to stop. You can't do everything you wanna do, potentially. But if that's like the one thing you really, really wanted, which for my husband was the pot filler, and now we can't do it because the wall is here, it's too late. So I would urge you, if there's something that you would hope and dream to do, just do it and do it right the first time. So I hope these mistakes weren't too controversial. I don't want to be controversial too much on my channel, but I just thought this was kind of fun talking about things to avoid. I hope this was helpful if you are considering a home renovation. And please share your mistakes to avoid and things that you would suggest for a kitchen renovation in the comments below. And please consider subscribing, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye-bye. It's okay if your cabinets don't go all the way to the ceiling. I'm sure it's still a gorgeous kitchen. I'm gonna get in trouble. I don't want anyone to get upset with me saying